Okay, Dad, why did Satan rebel?
That would seem to be really the question we should ask first.
Mm-hmm.
He played the fool in doing it, but remember in the Bible, one of the words for fool, I mean, we use it as a silly person or, forgive me, an idiot, but fool in the Bible has another connotation. It's a dark side of genius.
Mm-hmm.
His folly was he rebelled against the greatest power in the universe, and the distance between him and God is infinite. I mean, there's really no second power to
Mm-hmm.
God. So why would he rebel? I think he saw, well, first of all, envy is attributed to him. You have to know how powerful envy is. You know, there's a verse that says, "The sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the cancer of the bones."
Mm-hmm.
Bone cancer. Envy rots a person from within. They can't stand. They really can't stand. And it comes down to a problem that even economists don't understand. They see people are envious and they don't know why they act the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody has something, and even if you can't get it, you'll do anything to keep them from having it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if someone goes along and keys your car or something, get a brand new car and they don't like it, they can't get anything out of this, they just key it. Or they damage it in some other way. But the point is, uh, envy is like bone cancer, the Bible says.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? The Bible answers that. Whereas economists and historians struggle as to what motivates the heart, the motivation is glory. We were made for glory.
Mm-hmm.
Our glory is to reflect God's glory. It's supposed to be subordinate to it. Unfortunately, we don't always do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But we glorify the Lord, and in the process, He glorifies His own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you see the glory of someone else, maybe they're more handsome, maybe they're prettier, they've got that great car, they have done something, they've achieved something, and it eats at you.
Mm-hmm.
That's envy. If you let it go into some action against them, you slander them, you make up something, you lie, you say something that sticks them, now you're engaging the cancer. You're compounding your felony.
Mm-hmm.
I say compounding your felony. Yeah, it may not be an actual crime out there, the civil magistrate, but it is a crime before God.
Mm-hmm.
So equate it to bone cancer. He couldn't stand the fact he was, even though he's a distant second, he was second place. And two, the Bible tells us he didn't really see the full glory of God. He saw the Lord enthroned, but God didn't show him his whole glory. There was no necessity to do so. So he rebelled. He took a third of the angelic host with him because they too were envious. They still are. They want to rob God of his glory. They want to rob us of our inheritance. But they're also compounding their destiny in hell. Hell was made for them,
Mm-hmm.
And for those that follow them. But they compound it with their fear, their guilt, their hatred, because that is their destiny. So, again, what is envy? You see someone else's, I'll put it in general terms, their glory. It outshines your glory. Like maybe they're prettier, they're handsomer, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
They've achieved something. You didn't achieve that. Or just because they did. And envy rots your soul. You can't stand it. You may smile, you may say all kinds of nice things, great job and all that, but in heart, you wish they were, dead.
Mm-hmm.
You wish they were, something could mar that glory. That's envy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's compared, as I said, now it's third time or so, to bone cancer.
Yep.
It eats you, and you have to do something about it. Unless it's tempered by the Lord himself in your walk. Now, Satan had that. He still does. It is envy that drives him to continue to rob God of his glory and to rob God's people of their testimony, of their walk. Mm-hmm. He hates a godly Christian man or woman. He wants to destroy it. First of all, especially if it's effective against his kingdom, but just as much out of envy as to the fact they have a future, and he wants to rob them everything he can. So why did he get kicked out of heaven? My first answer is envy. He wanted to ascend to the powers of the north. We don't even know what that is, but it was a beautiful place, and he wanted to ascend like unto God, to the throne of God. And he got kicked out. That's what envy does. But you know what its end is? I sometimes laugh. Maybe I shouldn't, but the devils got kicked out of a heaven that was an inheritance for them. They ended up begging Christ to be thrown into a herd of swine. They went from heaven to pigs. That's what envy will get for you. Those throughout history who have been envious, ultimately that's what happens to them sooner or later.